Philadelphia, it's great to visit. Hello, Renee. Hello, everyone. So I am using Google Hangout Air, as you know, for those on Periscope. So I'm doing something different this time. I will be using my iPad to help those, hi Renee, those on Periscope see the webinar. And for you guys, you just get to sit back and relax. I'm excited to be doing this, cheesesteaks. I'm excited to be doing this webinar because actually I'm going to turn this around so you guys can see me. I'm excited to be doing this webinar because I believe that all women are goddesses, and we need a reminder every now and then on how we can reconnect with that goddess energy. So let's get started. I'm going to share my screen. Thank you for the hearts, everyone. And let's see here if we can pull up the PowerPoint slide. That'd be awesome. Bear with me one moment because it's not showing here. So, hello, thank you for sharing, Renee. Thank you. Thank you for calling me a goddess. All right, so just a moment. I will have to bring this back up here. All right, there we go. So now, let's see. There we are. Now the screen share, I'm going to turn this around. Awesome. So yes, welcome to how to connect with your goddess, or excuse me, how to reconnect with your inner goddess. This is going to be a fun, This is going to be a fun Google Hangout because again, it's something I love to talk about. And I know that this is something that women can also benefit from. So people on Periscope, I'm trying to figure out what's the best angle for you. I think it's just going to have to be like this. Okay. All right, let's get to it. Now, before we begin, I want you to join the private Facebook group I have for you. Thank you, Tina, for joining. So reason why I want you to join this Facebook group is because this is where the conversation continues after the webinar. This is where your bonus will be located in the file section. This is also where I ask people for ideas if they want me to talk about something specific. I will take that into consideration. So you definitely want to join that private Facebook group. There is Tia Hangout group. So make sure you go there and hang out there. Join all that greatness. There's some pretty cool people in there. It's just for, well, Jordan, this is really for women, but there are some tips that you can still use to just reconnect with your inner self. But yes, this is really for women. But again, there are some cool tips that you can take for yourself, or you can join their private group there and you can make suggestions about maybe future topics like chakras or something else spiritual or wellness practices. But that's a great question. Okay, so yeah, this will be recorded on, it will be sent directly to my YouTube channel, which is Tia Violet. So you don't have to worry about if you miss anything or, you got to leave the room for a minute. Don't worry about it. So it's going to be about an hour. I'll stay on a little bit longer to answer some questions. I asked people to fill out a survey before the Hangout, so I'm going to answer those questions as well. There will be a bonus at the end. Jordan loves the ladies. So I'll stay in for a little, but that's awesome, Jordan. Pretty cool. And make sure you have a pen and pad or something to write with because there's going to be a lot of cool tips. So in this webinar, we will cover how to reconnect with your inner goddess, the magic you wield within and how you can bring that to the forefront, and what are you a goddess of and what it means for your life purpose. And the reason why I came up with these topics specifically is because this is something that a lot of people have issues with, especially with the life purpose aspect. So we're going to dive right into there. So a quick introduction. Who am I? Well, if you've been watching my scopes, I gave you a pretty quick rundown who I am, because I don't want to spend too much time on it on Periscope, because I just want to get to the goods. So since we're at a Google Hangout, I spend a little bit more time talking about who I am. I am a Reiki practitioner, so I help you, again, with your, thank you for the hearts, I'm loving it, with your universal energy to help you to heal, understand what's going on in your life, and so forth. I'm a certified hibiscus moon crystal healer, so I help you to work with crystals, and it's pretty easy to work with crystals because crystals are in our lives anyway, right? There are just so many ways we use crystal, our watches, scanners, computers, a lot. So you might as well just use them to help us to heal. Might as well just, yep, there we go. I am a gateway dreaming practitioner, so I help you to understand what your dreams mean and how it relates to your waking life. This is huge because there are so many hidden messages in our dreams, and if we only take the time to figure out what they mean, our waking life would be so much easier. I'm an angel therapy practitioner, so I help you to understand how you can work with your angels, how you can heal with your angels, and all that goodness. Next, let me zoom in a little bit for you. I'm an Amazon bestselling author. My book, To Be Goddess, Every Woman is a Goddess, Discover Your Domain in Which You Reign Supreme, is all about helping women to just discover their inner goddess and to own whatever it is that they're great at. Several of my angel stories have been published in Doreen Virtue's book. So if any of you are familiar with Doreen Virtue, give me a fun thumbs up or something like that, because it's funny, when my stories got published, thank you for the hearts, I was very, very nervous. So in some of her books, my last name is Spinelli. It isn't Tia. Okay, but in some of the later stories, Angel number, yeah, see, Justina, you know all about it. So yeah, that's me, Tia Spinelli. In her books, that's me. And then I end up just using my last name, Tia Johnson. You always see 1 1 and 4. I've been seeing a lot of ones lately. Ones have to do with just really staying on point, keeping high thoughts, and that's closely related to number 2, which is keeping positive thoughts. And 4 has it just lets you know that the angels are with you. I am a contributor for Huffington Post. I am a Philadelphian. I graduated from LaSalle University with a degree in business administration, and I'm currently pursuing my master's degree at the University of Pennsylvania. And I created my spiritually based business in 2010 to help people to heal. Originally, it was to help people who were grieving. Hello, Tina. And then my business has since grown into something where people seek healing and understanding and self-improvement. So next, how to reconnect with your inner goddess. A way we can do this is to figure out some spiritual hotspots from the tongue-tied from our mental and physical travel. So what do I mean by that? Do you daydream? You know, people in Periscope, let me know. Even if you're listening to this Google Hangout, I'm checking the comments section. So do you daydream? Do you think about places you can go, things you can do? You know, or do you physically travel to places? Do you visit Mexico, Europe? You know, these places. A reason why traveling helps you to reconnect with your inner goddess is because this is how you can remove yourself from a situation and make time for a retreat. It's a personal retreat. And when you do that, you are expanding your mindset. You are being comfortable in situations that aren't exactly comfortable in the beginning. For example, if you're traveling outside the country, you may not know the language. My head's always in the clouds, but I do travel here and there. Yeah, exactly. That's fine. Even if you don't get a chance to travel, daydreaming will help you reconnect with your inner goddess because you're reconnecting with yourself. You are thinking outside of the box. You're letting your imagination soar. That's what it's all about, especially when you are physically traveling, because again, you're experiencing different cultures. You are opening yourself up to a lot of different things. So that's one way you can reconnect with your inner goddess. Next, what's your sanctuary? Nature, book, store, your couch. So when it comes to nature, are you someone who, hello, I am Matt. Are you someone who likes to go outside? Or are you just someone who likes to go like deep in the woods, not just outside, you know, for a breath of fresh air? I used to go writing fan fiction. Does that count? Oh, yes, that definitely counts. And actually, writing is another point down here. So actually, let me zoom in a little bit for you guys on Periscope. Yeah, so bookstore, couch. I love to read on my and snuggle on my couch. So finding a sanctuary, well, thank you for the hearts, will help you to reconnect with your inner goddess, because what you're doing is you're creating an environment in which you can thrive, right? So the first point to your spiritual hotspot is take you a little bit out of a situation, whereas your sanctuary is bringing you back. Just like the saying goes, there's no place like home. Well, your sanctuary is what's going to bring you back. You know, and this is where you take time for your spiritual practices. So it's going to get real personal. You know, what's your meditation style? Do you dance? How about breath work? You know, what about reading, writing, talking? Do you talk about spirituality with some of your friends? Do you write about spirituality? Renee, I know you said you just mentioned something about writing. So these are ways you can reconnect with your inner goddess, because you're focusing on the internal and the external. And Jordan, if you're still on, you can reconnect with your inner God energy by doing dancing, reading, writing, whatever is your method. Next, the magic you wield within. So listen to music. That's another great way. Yes, definitely I am Max. Listening to music is another way you can reconnect with yourself. So just a quick explanation of why there's a magic with a K. Magic with a K, this separates the definition from magic without the K. Magic, this M-A-G-I-C, has to do with pulling rabbits out the hat and things like that. Renee writes, yes, writing and breathwork is so important in music. It is very, very important. These are some easy ways to help you to reconnect, to heal, and to discover more about yourself. So, magic that you wield within. Passion sets the soul on fire. Okay? What are the things you are passionate about? What does that say about you? Are you passionate about dancing? Are you passionate about helping people? What is your passion? How does that help you? Think about all these great things and how it can help you to thrive. Hello, Camellia. Next, your superpower. So those of you who filled out the survey beforehand, I asked you, what's your superpower? A reason why I asked you that is because when you are on your path to diving into your inner goddess, you're going to come out with some strength. There's going to be some things that you can really connect with. Meaning, so for one of the questions or choices was to be invisible and communicate with all things, including pets and things like that. So think about some of the choices you made. If you are able to communicate with everyone and thing, that means that you're highly relatable. If you want to be invisible for a while, that means that you want to be able to adapt to certain situations. You know, if you are able to blend in, right? So people can't see you quite yet. So think about what your superpower will be, because this is where your strength is going to be. So if your superpower is something like, oh, I just want to have strength, I'm going to be super strong. Okay, then you can be the pillar for people who can't speak for themselves. So this is why I say, what's your superpower? This is why I had people fill out the survey in the beginning, because it's really cool to see. Well, for me, it's cool to see the answers, but also it gets you thinking. Working with goddesses. So I have the next slide will help you with that. I'm going to touch on that more. And next, bring it to the forefront through the use of blogs, Periscope, like I'm doing now, podcasts. You are telling your story, and as a result, you're creating a purpose. See, so we're leading up to where I talked about the life purpose aspect. When you are working on your passions, when you're working on your strengths, your superpowers, when you're working on tapping into your sanctuary or daydreaming or traveling, what you're doing is you're bringing that, you are already bringing it to the forefront. You are telling people about it. You are writing about it. You're dancing. You know, this is how you bring it to the forefront. You know, you're going to present this to people. You know, everyone has a story to tell. We all are important. And there's always someone who is waiting to hear your story. So you can start off with blogs. That's how I started. My blog was my website. And then I just advanced to podcasts and so forth. So you can totally do it. your strength, your magic lies within what you do, and you can start with the blouse, as I said right there. Now, I'm going to zoom in right here for people on Periscope. This is 2 pages from my book. And the reason why I have this here is because this is some of the goddesses who you can work with, right? Because I said connect with the goddesses. So in the survey, one person wrote that they feel connected to Isis. Well, we have their Isis, and her symbol is the full moon. We have here a crab, a sparrowhawk. So there are ways you can connect with them. You can buy an image of a full moon or download an image of a full moon. And even up here, there's more goddesses. So there's Kuan Yin, there's Bridget, you know, a lotus for Kuan Yin, a candle for Bridget. So these are some of the ways you can connect with the goddesses. So actually, I'm going to stop sharing for a little while and turn this around. So yeah, this is some of the ways you can connect with the goddesses. All you have to do is just hold that intention, purchase something that represents the goddess. And let me turn this here on Periscope. All right. So all you got to do is just, again, get something that represents the goddess or goddesses if you choose to work with more than one, and then incorporate that into what you want to do. So if you want to write blogs, you can do that. If you want to do a podcast or Periscope, be multitasking like I am right now. You know, there's a lot of things you can do there. Thank you for the hearts. So this is all about getting you to look at the internal and external to help you to have that full perspective of how you can reconnect with yourself, right? So daydreaming is one way to connect with yourself, traveling, experiencing different cultures, because it just helps with the mindset that you have and helps you to think, again, outside the box from a different perspective, makes you use your imagination more. That's what it's all about. And that's how you're going to reconnect with the inner goddess. Okay, so let's get back here to the slides. Where are we? All right. And let me turn you around here. All right. So those are the 2 pages. And these slides will be available via SlideShare. So no worries if you came in a little bit later, you missed the slides. They also will be available in the Google Hangout group. So make sure you join the groups and where you can get the slides and the bonus at the end. Next, what are you a goddess of, and what that means for your life's purpose? So let me zoom in here for you Periscopers. All right, what area in your life are you great? So I want you to think about not just good, not kind of sort of, what are you great at? What are the areas that people come to you for? Is it questions about dating, spirituality, fashion, hair, makeup tips, parenting tips, business tips? What is it? What is it about you that people, you know, question, that people respect, that people need to know? You know, think about that, because that's what's going to help you to figure out what you're great at, right? Because you're going to have repeats, you know, repeat people coming to you, repeat of people wanting to also help you out, right? Like, oh, I see what you're doing here. How about this? How about we do this? So that's something you need to think about. Next, what area in your life do you take pride in? So some people can be great at something, but they're very modest, right? You know, that's okay. Even if something that you're modest about, what is something that you truly enjoy? Something that you say, yeah, you know what? I did that. What is it? What area or areas? Because you can have more than one life purpose. So think about that. What is it? Your passion is one of your life purposes. So again, your passion is one of your life's purposes. Okay. That's a hint. If you're passionate about something, that's a hint that it is your life purpose, right? Because it only will work if you're passionate about something. And that's with business, that's with personal undertakings, whatever it is. If you're not passionate about it, it's just not going to work. That's why the saying goes, entrepreneurism isn't for the faint of heart. You have to have a passion for it. It's not going to work. So think about your passions. You're going to begin the hero's journey. Thank you for the hearts. What I mean by that is, in the hero's journey, there's the protagonist, there's the person who has to conquer a lot of things, right? You're the protagonist. You're going to have an enemy. You're going to go on this journey. You're going to experience hardship, heartbreaks, and eventually you're going to reach the mountaintop, right? So if you just keep in mind that you are on a hero's journey to reconnecting with yourself, and then finding out what that means for your life purpose, then you are already ahead of the game because you're conscious of what you're doing. And that is a tremendous step. Next, realize what does and does not work for you. I cannot stress this enough. What this means for your life's purpose is that when you are traveling, when you are daydreaming, when you are writing, dancing, speaking, you are all working towards a higher purpose. You are working towards your life's purpose. And when you do this, you'll begin to realize that you don't have time for people who aren't working on themselves as well. Let me explain. If you are working towards self-development, whether it's maintaining a healthy weight, doing yoga practices, writing spiritual letters, whatever the case may be, and you're around someone who is just shifting their responsibility, they're complaining a lot but not looking for solutions, it's not going to work. You're going to eventually distance yourself from that person. You're going to realize that that relationship does not work for you, because what does work are interdependent relationships, such as yes, that's right, Justina. Bye, Felicia. You got it. Bye, Felicia. I don't have time for that. No one got time for that. So yeah, it's like a football team, right? You have your quarterback, your running back, your wide receiver. That's an interdependent relationship. What you don't want is a codependent relationship or a psychic vampire who just takes up all your energy. Everything's about them. So you're going to realize what does and does not work for you. Next, I'm going to zoom in here. This is another page from my book. And the reason why I put this in here, because this is all about the domain in which you reign supreme. So in my book, I give people examples. These are all examples that you can use, right? So if we want to reconnect with our inner goddess, we need to figure out what that theme is, because this will also lead to our life purpose. Here I have sexual goddess, domain of sensuality, party goddess, domain of celebrations. Let's see, go down here, cooking goddess, domain of delight. Tattoo goddess, domain of creative expression. So figure out what's your theme. What's that domain in which you reign supreme? What's that domain that will get you to say, you know what, I reconnected with my inner goddess because I'm a sexy dancer. I'm in the domain of expression, dancing expression, and dance interpretation. Think about that. Or writing. I know, Renee, you mentioned writing. You could be the domain of written expression, the domain of literature, the domain of whatever you want to call it. So this is what really just brings it in and helps with your life purpose and helps you to understand that, hey, I'm reconnected because I know my domain. I know my purpose. Thank you for the hearts. So that wraps it up. That was a little bit fast, I think. Yeah. See, it's interesting because originally I wanted this to be 30 minutes and then have time for some questions. But let's see. So continue this conversation in the Facebook group. The Facebook group is Tia's Google Hangout group. So you can just Facebook that. The link, I should have put it in this slide, but I had it in the beginning too. So you can join that group there. That's where you'll receive, I'm going to upload in just a few minutes, the worksheet that's associated with this Google Hangout. Keep a lookout for the next webinar, which is how to discover your life's purpose. And I'm going to stop the sharing here. All right, and let's see. I'm just going to switch it so that way I can also connect with the periscopers here. I think I'm gonna have to get like someone to hold this for me eventually. Awesome. So that's all the ways you can reconnect with your inner goddess. And I know that Jordan, you were on earlier and you were just like, oh, is this all for women? But I love the ladies. So that's okay. You know, or you could just say reconnect with my inner God strength. Just keep in mind that reconnecting with yourself just includes a few simple steps. It is super, super easy. It can be super fun, especially when you do this with other people. You don't have to do this alone. I mean, you can even start with the Google Hangout group that I have. It's private, so no one can see what you post. People only see the members in there, so it's a closed group. Keep in mind that whatever you do, keep track of it, write it down, make sure that you can reflect on everything that you do. All right, so I hope that was helpful for you. I look forward to seeing you at the next Google Hangout session. The slides will be available via SlideShare, but meanwhile, make sure that you go on to the Facebook and request to join my Google Hangout tribe. All right, so until next time, may your days be filled with many blessings, and I will see you at the Google group. Bye.